We all wish we could bring our Disney vacation home with us, right? To have that Disney feeling every day? Well, why not start your day the Disney way with a Disney blend from Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company? With over 23 varieties to choose from the French bistro you find in your resort room to the Yachtsman Steakhouse and Gico, of course, and now Joffrey's newest Disney blend, Le Cellier. Why not start your day with that Disney magic? Order yours today at joffreys.com.
Hey, Bob and Tim, this is David Tupper.
And this is Rose Marston, David's mother, and we're sitting out here at the Oella room at the Alani and enjoying some tea right now and waiting for the music to play. This is wonderful.
You're listening to the ResortLoop.com. Roll 'em, brothers.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. If you're traveling to any other Walt Disney World Resort hotel, buses and watercraft depart from this station.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This is Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. Bob, how about that open?
Oh, our good pal Dave Tupper, enjoying the good life in Hawaii.
With his mom.
With his mom and his beautiful daughter and beautiful wife and beautiful Hawaii. And I'm not sure I like him anymore.
Exactly. It's paradise and he's not even gambling.
Right. He's at Olani with his mom. Man, come on.
Man.
How nice is that? We got to get over there.
We do.
He said we could stay at his house.
He did?
Uh-huh.
So we just got to get over there.
He's probably forgotten.
He probably did. We'll just show up at the door.
I've got it in
Hello.
I save all emails, Dave. I'm just telling you. Oh, well, speaking of beautiful places, I have, Tim, some news. We are up to 131 countries, my friend, that listen to ResortLoop.com.
I didn't know we were still counting. How cool is that?
Well, you know, we're so proud to have so many people listening to the show and just all over the world. So we thank you guys.
It's like one big world showcase.
It is. It is. This is very cool. We really appreciate you guys listening. And these folks are all the way over in, are you ready for this? Brunei.
Brunei. Have I heard of? I think I've heard of Brunei.
The Sultan of Brunei is supposed to be kind of famous.
Maybe he's the one listening. We have a Sultan listening.
I think we have a Sultan listening. So if he knows Jasmine, let us know.
That's right.
You know, so we know some street rats we could introduce her to. I'm sure.
I wonder if he lives in a tiny little living space.
Tiny little. Anyway, I also, Tim, have a This Day in Disney History.
Oh, I love them.
Are you ready for this? We're going to go backwards. I got two of them, but we're going to go backwards on this.
Oh, my.
2012. That was a long time ago.
Oh, a long time ago.
2012. Walt Disney World marks the grand opening of a new Fantasyland at its Magic Kingdom Park.
That was 12? That was that long ago?
Can you believe that?
No, my goodness.
That is so hard to believe. And at the same time, over at Epcot, the newly reimagined Test Track reopens.
Oh, wow.
So, I know.
And the Fantasyland took like 3 years to build, didn't it?
Something like that.
Man.
Yeah. That seemed to take forever. And I can't believe it's been that long already.
Wow, incredible.
So, and this kind of ties in with what we're talking about today. In 1971,
ooh,
you remember 71?
Barely.
Oh, yeah. The first auto train leaves from Lorton, Virginia.
Oh, cool.
On its inaugural run down south to Stanford, Florida. First set up in 1970, the Auto Train Corporation realized there was a market for a train that could carry both passengers and their cars, specifically down to sunny Florida.
I love that idea.
It would soon be known as the official family railroad of Walt Disney World.
Huh.
And of course, the company went bankrupt years later, but Amtrak picked it up and is still running the auto train today.
Have you ever done it, or you know anybody that has?
I do know some people that have done it, and they absolutely love the auto train because they sometimes they will just bring it back. They'll take the auto train back, so they don't have that long drive home.
Right.
But there's nothing better than having your own vehicle with you on vacation.
Oh, especially if you have kids. You get their car seats they're comfortable with in there.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's more comfortable and knows what's going on.
Yeah. If you've got some other places to go afterwards, you're going to go visit family or something, in Georgia like I do.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
So, the auto train.
We priced it out once. I don't remember the numbers, but I remember it was about the same as maybe flying, but it was a little longer than if we wanted to drive because we'd have to drive over to Virginia and then catch the train.
Right.
So we just drive down.
Yeah, I think it's, at this point, it's more of an experience for people. I do want to try it. I got to try it at least once. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I would like to take a scenic train, I think, out west. Try that once.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, something in the mountains. Because we did the White Pass Rail in Alaska.
Oh, yeah, you did?
That small train. And that was beautiful.
That was your Disney cruise.
On the Wonder, yes, it was.
That's very cool. Very cool. So, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
How do we tie in the auto train and public transportation as a whole with today's show?
We got a request from good friend of the show and supporter at ResortLoop.com, at ResortLoop.com/support from Michael Stanford.
Yeah, great guy. Michael's a great guy.
Oh, he's great. I had a bunch of conversations with him, mostly texting. I accidentally called him once during a little get-together at my house. I couldn't really. Let's
be honest, Mike. He butt dialed you. That's what really happened.
Well, it was more my thumb, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. Then I felt bad because I couldn't take the call, and I was like, "Oh, Michael, I'm sorry."
All right, I'm confused as to why your thumb was. Never mind.
I was getting ready to text him back, but then I hit that. Apparently there's that little headset up there.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
You know how that works.
I understand.
You're tech savvy.
So continue on. What did Mike want?
Well, Mike wanted to talk about the new express bus service from park to park that Disney's starting to offer.
Yes.
This is just going to start. It's brand new. It's like as you hear this show, if you hear it when it comes out, it's tomorrow. It's December 7th, 2016.
Right.
I was.
Now, you and I weren't too happy with this at first.
I'll be honest. I first heard this, and I was still angry from the cabanas.
Right.
Because a week or so later, I still do not see any real value in that cabana idea.
I don't either. we're gonna let it go. Maybe that's why Disney has pushed Frozen so much. They want all of us to just let it go.
Well, they should be pushing It's a Small World theme on everybody. That's a little more relaxing for everyone.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
So we'll get into the details of this. When I first heard about this service, it's going to be a park-to-park transportation bus service from an inside the park, just backstage location.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go from a backstage location, say at the Magic Kingdom, to boom, backstage at Epcot.
Right. Now, just to give folks an understanding. So if you're going to go to, let's say you're going to the Magic Kingdom or you're picking the bus up from the Magic Kingdom, you are going to pick that up between the Carousel of Progress and Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
Correct.
Over at Animal Kingdom, it's the drop-off and pickup's going to be by the entrance of Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Mm-hmm.
At Disney's Hollywood Studios, next to Rock and Roller Coaster. And at Epcot, on the eastern side, which everybody knows east and west, on the eastern side of Spaceship Earth,
yes,
which is the test track side.
Correct. I was going to say the Ellen's Energy Adventure side.
Right. So I'm sure there'll be, signage telling you where you can go to pick this stuff up, these buses.
Right. And then the price for this, I found this an interesting price point. It's $15 a day if you have a single park ticket.
Right.
Or if you have a multiple day ticket, it's a one-time fee of $24.
But keep in mind, that's per person.
True. It is per person.
All right.
So
That's kind of big. Per person is kind of big.
well, family of 4, you're looking at an extra $100. So if
I will say, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, so if you're a family and you're going to park hop,
Mhm.
because I was anti this at first, so I had to let all these things kind of soak in. And you're into park hopping, this is probably a really good option.
Okay.
If you don't park hop and have no entire desire of park hopping, this isn't for you. If you want
Right.
to park hop and you don't have a car, this is a great option.
True.
I will say, except for us, when we park hop, we build in our mid-morning swim,
Oh,
or we go back to the hotel, maybe get the recommended nap,
sure.
and that's not going to help you out here at all because you got to go back to your resort.
Uh-huh.
And they're very
That's
clear
right.
about this. This is only park to park. This is not from your hotel to the park.
Correct. And this, in theory, they're saying that you're not going to have to go through security again. So you're skipping that security
It's
line.
kind of like going through security at the airport. Once you go through security at your airport, you can go anywhere back there. Even if you go to another airport, you've already actually been cleared through security.
True.
So once you get into the park and you go to another park on this bus, in theory, you've already been cleared. Now, I'm sure there's people keeping an eye on you to make sure you're not up to any shenanigans.
Shenanigans. There better not be any shenaniganizers out there.
There will not be.
We don't care for that. So how often do these buses run, Tim?
Well, they've been everything we can find, and this is, again, thanks to our good friend Michael Stanford. It's precisely every half hour.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Precisely. So the bus is going to be there because I can just see if you're paying $24 or $15 depending on your ticket, and you get there and you're waiting longer for that bus, and
You're not going to be happy.
You're not going to be happy. And you're going to be sitting there thinking, I paid this for this express service. I could have been out to the monorail already and halfway there, and I don't know when this next bus is coming.
Right.
But you had a good point. What's going to happen to you, Bob, since we know your luck?
Well, actually, Michael is the one that brought this up, but I think it's a brilliant point.
And it's your luck.
What happens? and it's definitely my luck. What happens when you go to get on the bus? It's the top, getting close to the top of the hour. Let's run over and hop on the bus and go over to Animal Kingdom for Magic Kingdom or wherever. And you get there and you can't get on the bus because there's too many people.
Ooh.
Now you have to wait another half hour.
True.
That going to make you happy?
It would not make me happy because I hate waiting for buses as it is.
When you're paying that amount of money?
Because if it's every 30 minutes, and say you show up, it's going to be 3 o'clock. You show up at 2:55.
Right.
But say a bus full of people showed up at like 1:45 to make sure they got the bus.
Right.
Now you're waiting for the next bus.
And we know, sadly, we know how people can be when they say, hey, I'm paying a lot of money for being here. This is our one vacation, all the other things that we say. I'm getting on this bus. And they're cutting in front of you and things are getting a little heated, just like you see at parades and fireworks showings and things like that. People can sometimes not be very nice and say, oh, you've been waiting here longer than me? Feel free to get on.
Right.
We just did this on the Pet Peeve show.
We did.
Where people are upset at the way people acted on buses. So
when people are hot and sweaty and their feet are sore, they get cranky.
And they're hungry.
There should be water back there.
There should be it should be like some of these very beautiful trailway buses where it's air conditioned and you got the comfy seats and you got like a steward or stewardess walking down and going, hey, would you like a drink? Would you like? I mean, to pay that much to do this, I don't know.
It may be a special bus. We have not seen these buses yet, actually.
No. That's true. We have not. Originally, they were talking about vans.
Right.
So
vans are going to fill up awfully quick.
Yeah, exactly. Here's my thing though, I was turned on to this when I was down there for the Looper meet, I'm not a big, because of where we live, you and I both know, we don't do like Uber or Lyft or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did, thanks to some wonderful loopers that they know who they are, 3 of us took Uber, or I believe it was Lyft. 3 of us took Lyft from the Grand Floridian back to a resort, and it was $8.
Wow.
3 of us. Not $8 each. $8.
$8 for as many people as you could cram in the car.
Into a van. It was a
van?
It was a minivan, very similar to a co-host of ResortLoop.com.
Oh, very nice. Did it have mild rust around the edges? Northeast Ohio rust?
It may have. Now, I know some people, they're a little leery of the whole Uber, Lyft kind of thing, but I'm telling you, it was easy peasy. And we just made the phone call, or they made the phone call, or did it on their app, told them what vehicle was going to be there, and boom, we just walked out, and there he was.
How long was the wait?
We didn't have to wait a half hour.
From the time you placed your order, or however that works, how long did it take to get the van?
I would have to say probably about 5-6 minutes, 10 minutes tops.
Oh my goodness!
Minutes. Yeah.
Was he getting a snack downstairs? That's super fast.
Because, well, I mean, the thing is, and a lot of people are saying that this is why Disney is doing this, because you're seeing a lot of the Uber and Lyft folks making an awful lot of money doing exactly what Disney is now proposing to do. By transporting people around, getting them from park to park, cheaper and faster. So Disney's like, look, other people are doing this. They're making money off of it. Let's us capitalize on this.
We want some of that money.
We want some of that money. Now, I would think sometimes, this is just me, forget the park to park. I think if Disney really wants to do something, they should do resort to resort. Because a lot of folks like to go from their resort to another resort, like for dinner or dining or just to see it. I think that would be a better option.
Maybe they need to start like an Uber or Lyft on-demand service where only their drivers are allowed on property. They come up with their own app. It's kind of the same thing, just a kind of a little different of a setup.
I don't know if they're going to be able to keep those people off property now that they've let them on.
They can't.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to tell them, okay, we see what you're doing and we like it, so get out. We're going to do it.
I think if they wanted to, they could do that.
Well, they could.
Private property. One thing I think that's very interesting about this service they're offering with the buses is for people who have mobility issues.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely. You have ECVs, or you just don't get around too well, and you've never been able to park out before because of the time it would take. I think this is a phenomenal option. If everything is ECV compatible, which I got to believe it is. Well, I mean, why wouldn't it be?
True, and if you've got small kids, not having to go through security every time with the stroller and all of that stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying I would do it. I can't see me doing it. But then again, guys like us, we drive down. We have our own vehicles most of the time.
Well, true. Here's another thing. This just popped in my head. The big lines of security at the beginning, at the start of all these parks to go through security, as you mentioned.
Right.
If you have, children with you that are on the spectrum who don't do well in that kind of a situation, this could be a godsend.
Oh, that's very true.
Everything's in a much smaller, more manageable, setup.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't either until just now.
Kids. Yeah. That's actually quite brilliant. Yeah. So that might be a great option for those folks. Absolutely.
Right. And one thing that, Michael brought up was, how does this affect, everyone has that same, it was one of those things we've talked about in the past. Everybody has the shared experience of, first walking into a park, especially the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
If you have people, they book their hotel and they just add this on, they're going to miss that whole, experience of, the castle reveal, the smell of the popcorn and the bakery and everything entering the park. Right.
The thing that we all know, the weenie, the weenie of every park, which is the castle, the Spaceship Earth, all of those things that, you're going to miss now. because you're going in a different entrance.
Right, now you're popping out, at the exit of Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I mean, those Imagineers, if you think about it, those Imagineers spent an awful lot of time
Oh, my goodness.
figuring out how that initial reaction was going to feel, how you were going to see it, all of those senses. We had to show about the senses. And how many of those people, when you talk about the senses, were walking up Main Street and smelling the stuff, or seeing the castle for the first time.
Right.
All of those senses are now going to be kind of lost. Imagine, if you will, you and I have both stayed over at the Beach Club. Imagine just going in International Gateway every time.
Right.
It's not as spectacular as walking up and seeing Spaceship Earth and walking underneath it as you go into the park.
Right, and if this is your first time there, you're going to lose a big experience that you just, that wow factor. The wow factor might be kind of gone.
I think so too. I don't hate the idea. I think that anything that Disney can add, I don't have a problem with. I really don't. I just don't see it as being something that I would do, even though I do oftentimes do the commando approach where I'm hitting 4 parks at one time. But when I just have park hoppers, I kind of tour a little bit different. I don't base it upon how quick I can get from one park to another. Like you said, I kind of plan out my day to go other places and do other things to then get to the other park. And you're going to kind of lose out on that experience maybe. For example, if I'm at the Animal Kingdom, let's say, and we want to go over to Epcot, typically we'll go over to the Beach Club, stop at Beaches and Cream, grab a little dessert, and then go in through the International Gateway.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing the same thing. We're just hopping on a bus from Animal Kingdom to the Beach Club, which they have plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
And, same thing. Let's say you want to go Animal Kingdom to Magic Kingdom. A great way to do that is either go on Animal Kingdom to Polynesian, grabbing a whip, or over to the Contemporary and just walking across.
I hope you said Dole Whip, because I just heard whip, and you really shouldn't have one of those in the Animal Kingdom.
Well, if you're going to have it, that's the place to have it.
I learned that after the incident.
Yeah, I know.
And you can't carry tasers either. I learned that too.
No, and which is why you're not allowed over by Kilimanjaro Safaris at all.
Who knew?
So, well, there are signs posted. Come on.
I suppose that's true.
Anyway, I don't know. $15 a person, $24 for a multi-day use. That's not bad. I mean, $28 for a multi-day use is not horrible.
So if you're there for the 10 days and you get the 10-day park hopper,
yeah,
would you? I might just go ahead and add the $24 just to try it for one vacation. At that point,
well, here's the question. It's just like anything else at Disney, and that becomes how often are you going to use it?
True.
Because if you're not using it, that $24, let's say you only use it one day. Well, now instead of spending $15, you've spent $24 for one day for your entire, clan to go. So I don't know. It all depends. It's going to all depend on people's own touring habits.
And I think this is mostly geared, I understand anybody can buy it, but I think it's mostly geared for people on property that didn't bring their own car. Because if you go,
I think so.
Because if you go to Epcot, drive your car to Epcot, and then all of a sudden, go park hop, you still have to go back to Epcot to get your car.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it's maybe for the people who've used Magical Express. They've gotten, they're staying on property the whole time. They want this option so they can get from maybe park to park a little bit quicker.
Well, and, now that you bring that up, does it then exclude even more the people who are staying off property? Because the parking is going to be an issue for you. You park at Magic Kingdom, And these are only keep in mind, folks, these are going to only run. I'm trying to find the time periods here for. It operates from 10 a.m. to park close.
Mm-hmm.
After park close, forget about it. So you want to stay and watch I don't know what's going to happen if you stay and watch fireworks. And then try and get all the way over to where that bus is. Maybe the last bus runs as soon as fireworks are over. I don't know.
Right. Plus, if you're off property, you've paid to park in a parking lot. So you've paid $20 or $35.
Right.
Now you're paying for this option to get to another park when you've already left your car in the parking lot somewhere else.
Right. Right.
So it seems to me like it's more for people that have Magical Expressed over.
I would think so.
The more I kind of think about it, even just talking about it now, I'm thinking that this is kind of making a little more sense.
Well, Michael broke it down for us. He said when you break down a 7-day ticket by $24,
mm-hmm.
It turns out that you're spending $3.42 a day for this service. That's pretty cheap.
It is. And, it's an option that, maybe if you don't use it one day, you're like, well, I'll make up for it for the other days of the trip.
Right.
And maybe you'll start park hopping. Maybe you've never done it before. You're thinking, I'll try it this vacation.
Right.
And, maybe it'll be a more positive experience because of that.
I know, and this is just me, the older I get, the less I want to hop.
See, I still enjoy going back for the nap or the swim, and then going to another park and maybe grabbing dinner there.
Yeah. I know I'm pretty much done with the commando style. The 4 parks in one day. It's you don't get to really enjoy and immerse yourself in the each park. So I don't think I'll be doing that anymore anyway.
Oh, it's not an immersion; it's a conquest.
That is true.
You want that badge of courage.
Well, I've done it, so I can say I've done it, but I don't necessarily want to continue to do it every time I go down. But,
right.
I don't know. Let's do an old time thing. 2 thumbs up for the buses, or what are you giving it? Thumb up or thumb down?
I'm giving it a tentative thumbs up. I need to see how this is going to operate once it gets rolling. I'm going to have to hear what the reports are coming out of Disney with this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh man. I'm with you. It's a tentative thumbs up only because I know that I will most likely never use it.
Right. But I can see the value for somebody else.
Absolutely. And then, again, like I said, I have no problem with Disney adding on things like this and charging for them, as long as it's something that you decide you want to do, kind of like with the dessert parties.
Right.
People want to do a dessert party, then have at it. What I'm going to have a problem with is if this becomes more of a norm where now we're charging you for transportation. Exactly. I don't want to see that.
Exactly.
So.
Oh, I want to talk about one more thing. Before we get off this. What do you think? Because we didn't talk about this before the show, because I want to get your genuine response on this one. You can now get a paid private water taxi service from the Grand Floridian Hotel.
To where?
Anywhere on the water. The service, I don't know if it's a pontoon boat. It doesn't really say what the craft is. Up to 10 passengers per boat, and costs $20 each way per family.
Per family or per person?
It says per family at the article I'm looking at.
Well, again.
So
it goes anywhere. I can take that.
Well, you can't take it to Epcot, my friend.
I can take that to Kennedy Space Center. No.
You could take it to Pioneer Hall.
Pioneer Hall to go get my Trail's End.
Right.
And then how do I get back?
I was thinking, you got to pay another $20. Yes, $20 each way per family.
Whew. Well, first off, the only thing I really see you wanting to do is to go to Magic Kingdom, and you already have that.
And here's a little caveat they're saying. return service in Magic Kingdom might not be available. So if you're at the end of the day and you have all those ferry boats and launches and the cruisers going back and forth, they're not going to pick you up.
Let me tell you something. If I'm staying at the Grand Floridian, first off, $20 isn't a whole lot to me. But secondly, at the end of a night where you've got a huge fireworks display and everybody's trying to get out of that park, it's worth $20 for the family if I'm staying over at the Grand Floridian.
And how about that bus service if that was the case?
What I would like to see, here's what I want. I want them to do that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But every penny that they make off of that has to go to building a bridge for that little gap in the walkway. So the next time I'm down there, I can walk from the Grand Floridian to the Magic Kingdom.
I'm thinking individual, what are they called? Jet skis. Rent a jet ski. Use them like golf carts over at Fort Wilderness. You take it from the Grand Floridian, you park it over at the Magic Kingdom, and then you ride them back at the end.
I would prefer bring some of the dolphins over from Epcot, the Living Seas, and I can ride a dolphin over.
Hang on, Peter's calling. Hang on a second. I got to take this call. Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Feel free. Feel free to come up with all of these crazy ideas. I don't have a problem with it as long as it doesn't affect the way that the parks are operated for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be able to go to rope drop. I don't want to get charged because I'm getting in early for extra magic hours. Don't charge me for fast passes. Don't charge me for transportation anywhere. If you want to charge extra to do some extra things, I don't have a problem with that.
Everything used to be kind of it was almost like a all-inclusive vacation for the most part. Once you got on property, you could take the boats, you could take the buses, you could do anything you needed to do.
And you still can.
You still can. But, maybe if it's just a little bit more, you're thinking, I can have this other experience. I'll be honest, I think this $20 shuttle from the Grand Floridian, if you had a family of 10 people and you were all going to see the Hoop-de-Doo,
mm-hmm.
You're all sure to get on the same boat. That might be kind of nice.
But it's $40.
Well, after you eat, you really don't care. No, it is, though. But,
And here's the thing. For $40, like I just got done telling you about the lift, I can get 4 cars driving me over there. 4 minivans.
That's not as magical as the Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake, my friend.
You sure about that?
I'm sure.
You have stories about taxis in New York. Sometimes you want to have a little excitement in your trip. Might be exciting.
That's true. That was a clincher there. It wasn't my hands.
Go back, listen to Tim's New York Disney cruise.
Oh my goodness.
That's a great story that Don tells. So.
It was.
All right. Well, again. 2 tentative thumbs up for the new $15 per person per day express bus transportation for Walt Disney World. Again, it's up to your own individual touring.
Absolutely.
So,
but if you do it, please report back.
Let us know. Let us know what kind of fancy bus you get to get on. Maybe it's that bus with all the colors in it. Maybe, did you see that with all the neon and stuff?
I did see that. Man, that would not be a relaxing ride.
No. And like you said, if you got a special needs child with all that stimulation, that might not be a good trip at all.
Oh.
So, Disney's got to be careful about that kind of stuff.
To just be driving, listening to the Bee Gees or something, listening to that.
Oh, hey, doing a little electric slide in the front. I like that. Tim.
Yes.
That is all I've got.
Oh, well, thanks, Bob. Once again, give a special thanks out to Michael Stanford for the idea for this show. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Thanks, Michael.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, the website, ResortLoop.com. If you'd like to support the show like Michael does, go over to ResortLoop.com/support.
Don't forget our Facebook page, rate us on iTunes, and check out our new YouTube channel at Resort Loop.
Woohoo!
And what else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone, please go out there and share the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody. With 4 theme parks, 25 resort hotels, hundreds of dining and shopping locations, and seemingly innumerable special events and ticket options, planning a trip to Walt Disney World can seem overwhelming. That's why the ResortLoop.com podcast has teamed up with People Mover Travel to help you get the most magic out of your Disney vacation. People Mover Travel will walk you through every aspect of your next Disney trip, from ensuring you get the best discounts to FastPass Plus and dining reservations and so many other things. Best of all, there is no fee for their service. That's right, you get your very own expert Disney vacation planner at no cost to you. For more information and to request a free, no-obligation quote, visit peoplemovertravel.com.